Hi, guys.
What?
Hey, Cosmo.
Hey,
How are
Cosmo,
you?
what's going on?
Hi, Mikey. What's up, Nat?
Hey. Hey, Natalie.
Stephen P. Kitty Cat.
Stephen P. Meows.
All right.
Mikey,
Well,
what's going on?
As more people come in, we'll say hi. So tonight we're finishing up the Academy Maniacs. This was the difficult one, but we got this.
Here we go.
So we left off last week last week. Wow. Talking about, oh gosh, I can't say their names again. Okay. So Artyom, Alexandrovich, Nofre, and Nikita Vakhtangovich Litkin. So we're going to say Anofri and Litkin because it keeps saying it anyway. Hey, Zool, how are you doing today? Hey, Cosmo. Thank you.
Hey, Cosmo. Zool, what's up?
All right, so let's get down to inclination to kill. All right, according to Anofri, the idea of killing came from Litkin, arguing that unlike Litkin, killing did not give him the satisfaction or relief that he had hoped for, and only did it because he put it where it wasn't necessary.
I did that once.
I don't know why it says that.
I did that one time.
I will just say, it says, I will just say he is a leader. He did not influence, but was the instigator of the crimes. Mind you, Litkin was the more calm out of the two, the least domineering out of the two. He was more depressed.
A lot of times, you don't have to be eccentric or anything like that
Hi, Chris.
Hi, Chris. You know.
But yeah, it's saying that, because I mean, in reality, when you look at all of this and everything that we had talked about previously, it was Artyom Anelfri. It was him that seemed to be the one that was the most violent. It was him that seemed to be the one that was instigating everything. But now here he is trying to twist it and say that it was Nikita.
Well, when they got caught is what it was.
Yeah.
Like, oh, it wasn't me. It wasn't me. No, dude, it wasn't you.
So, in a testimony, Artyom Onofriy stated that he'd planned to move to St. Petersburg in the future, where he wanted to commit more crimes, but later refuted his claims. According to the investigator, Yevgeny Karvetsky, Litkin himself admitted that he could not have committed these murders alone, since it wasn't interesting to just one person.
What?
Artyom and I did it. I liked it, he said.
They're codependent is what it is.
Yeah.
They're very codependent.
In a number of interviews, Nikita Litkin also stated that he would have continued to kill if he hadn't been arrested.
That's very typical.
I mean, at least he's honest about it, right?
Yeah. He's going to be out in, how many years now?
Mikey. Vichkovich. Vichovich. Vitch. Too many bitches!
Too many dang bitches.
Yeah, he'll be out in 3 years. No,
13.
13, sorry. I keep thinking that it happened in 2000. Woo!
No, it did take place in 2000s, but they weren't caught until...
No, it only happened in 2010, and they were caught in 2011.
You're right.
So, at the court hearing in 2013 on March 6th, Litkin declared that Onofriy did not incline him to commit crimes, in response to which Onofriy said, "I will go crazy with this person." After the announcement of the sentence, one of the surviving victims, Nina Kuzmina, said Nikita was just unlucky with a friend. He was an outcast from 5th grade. He was not accepted, and because of his character, he couldn't bear it. It was hard for him to live. And then came the only friend, Artyom, who joined skinheads. Then he got into the National Socialists. He needed to approve himself. Mind you, this is translation.
Yeah, he needed to prove himself.
Judging by the way Onofriy behaved during the meetings, he's rather deceitful, very cunning, and arrogant. Nikita was just at hand. This does not justify Nikita in the least, but I told him so during the debate. Nikita, you are not lucky. I guess they argued as they were trying to kill her.
Something along those lines. It's like a lover's spat almost.
Yeah. Well, that's reassuring.
Yeah, he'll be on 13 years.
Right? So, among the investigators, there was an opinion that in the pair, Onofriy was a think tank and the ideological inspirer of the group. And then Litkin was the performer, since it was established that the knife wounds were actually made by Litkin.
Are they actually trying to say that there is a, what is it, the madness of 2 here?
Folie à deux.
Yeah, whatever. The omelette du fromage of 2.
Folie à deux. You could say it.
Whatever. But what I'm saying is that that's what they're trying to say here, is that they kind of just got together and just started doing things.
Yeah, it's definitely that kind of situation.
Yeah. Which is them trying to get the insanity plea and everything going on here, too, if they have that.
I don't even know that they have that. I mean, I'm sorry, but a lot of them are kind of... Anyway, but during the arrest, Onofriy called Litkin a leader and an instigator in an interview with CM number 1. The boomer mentioned above at the trial said that Onofriy was too flawed to be a leader. In his words, once their group attacked a group of Caucasians, but Onofriy didn't show his worth and fled.
What the hell?
Mind you, this is all translated from Russian, so it's a little bit flipped around here. However, it was later established that most of the first strikes were actually delivered by Litkin, so Nikita. After the verdict was passed, investigator Maxim Komvak said these teenagers are locked on each other because they fit together so perfectly. Onofriy is a leader who wanted to be understood at a glance. Litkin is a performer who dreamed of approval and recognition.
So they're almost exactly like with the 2 kids from Columbine.
Yes.
It's more like that.
It's very much so like that. So
Actually, they share a lot of the same similarities.
they do share a lot of the same traits. You have the more domineering one, and then you have the more submissive one, and regardless, they both ended up having that lust for violence, but it was more acted upon by one than the other. So, while searching for victims, Onofre and Litkin walked the same way from the State University, stopped to Akka Rodock every day.
Yeah.
That means academy.
I know.
From 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. They missed 5, 10, or 20 people in search for a victim that was suitable for them. It happened that they walked like this for a week and did not attack anyone. As the investigator Yevgeny Karchevsky, sorry, I said that right the second time, stated at the trial, this was the urge in which they listened to their own inner voices. For the killings, the Molachiki
Sounds like you're about to summon an ancient god.
chose to attack either in the late evening, night, or early mornings, taking advantage of the fact that their mothers worked at night. Mallets, hammers, baseball bats were used as murder weapons, as well as knives. During interrogation, Onofre admitted that he had dealt with the first blows primarily, while Litkin first began to mock the corpses. Okay.
Okay, that's okay.
I think there's a bad translation there.
No, that's actually
Mock the corpses?
not mock the corpses, as in like defile the
Desecrate?
corpses. Desecrate and defile.
They finished off the victims together, inflicting anywhere from 15 to 20 blows. Since Onofre and Litkin always attacked from behind, all the survivors of the Molochiki could not tell the investigators any specific details that could immediately expose the criminals, because all of them, at best, were only seen briefly and did not even remember their voices. So, although at court they recalled the same signs of the attackers and recognized that Onofre and Litkin were very similar to them, they couldn't definitively recognize them. So, November 14th, 2010, Litkin and Onofre attacked 18-year-old Anastasia Markovskava while she was walking from 19th school and the stop in the direction of the Novo Irutsky village and smashed her head. The girl remained alive as the killers were frightened of, according to sources, were frightened off, and according to sources, she pretended to be dead during the attack.
On a random note, I actually the one girl that got Alcala in trouble, like really got her. Yeah, for kids, it's actually pretty typical for kids who are serial killers to actually have this much rage or whatever's going on with them.
But it's so crazy because they're so young.
Yeah, they were. But back to the girl that got Rodney Alcala in trouble, like really busted. She played dead. He started raping her, and she couldn't take it anymore. She came to, and was screaming. She found him later, as soon as he was done, crying his eyes out, and then he started getting up and coming over to her, and she actually said, "Hey, we can talk about this at your mom's house," and that's how she basically got away. They started driving back to Rodney Alcala's mom's house, and when they stopped to get a soda, she ran. And that's how they got him in trouble.
So get this. Officers from the Irkutsk police department did not initiate a criminal case, citing the fact that Anastasia was not robbed.
This is typical of Russian
although
police
she
right
was
here.
prepared to describe her attackers. She herself reported on the internet forums that the criminals, after reading the message, began to correspond with her, being especially interested in what she felt when she was beaten. So, November 24th, 2010, the boys attacked a 46-year-old woman and stole her bag. This time a criminal case was initiated, but only for the robbery.
You guys went too far. You guys can beat old ladies all you want, but you better not steal their handbags.
Right? Like, what the heck? December 1st, 2010, the boys attacked another woman, but frightened by witnesses, they ran away, taking her bag. In the bag were 500 rubles, with which they later bought mallets. After some time, they saw 12-year-old Daniel Semyonov, who studied in the same school as them. Daniel was going for a ride on a hill with his snow scooter. Nikita noticed him and offered to kill him, to which they agreed. They both agreed. According to Artyom and Nikita, they considered him a very weak victim, Daniil. Unable to provide strong resistance after catching him, they stunned him. Nikita stunned him from behind with a blow to the head with the mallet that he bought using the lady's stolen money. And then he fell. And Artyom continued to beat him with a baseball bat after that. Daniel's hand had a hematoma. He either defended himself or he was grabbed sharply on his arms. The final part of the murder was a penknife, which was driven into his temple by Nikita.
Jesus. That's...
When the victim's mother and brother found the child, he was still alive. An ambulance team was called to the scene, but they got stuck in a traffic jam. Wow. By the time of arrival, the boy had already died.
Wow.
In his mother's arms.
Ugh.
There are piles of pineapples waiting these two in hell. Yes. Yeah, this is pretty brutal.
Yep.
Especially for kids. So, according to both of them, Daniel was their first victim. They had admitted that they just simply trained on the boy. And they wanted to murder him. So, December 16th, 2010, 20 meters from the place where Daniel was killed, the body of 69-year-old Olga Mikhailova Pirog, a leading researcher at the Research Institute for Solar and Terrestrial Physics, was found. The woman, as it turned out, was killed in the same way as Daniel, but this time she was murdered quickly, which was later done with other victims.
So they never sexually abused any of their victims. They just murdered them.
They did, some of them, actually. On her body, there were 30 knife wounds that were counted, but money and jewelry, everything was untouched. She wasn't robbed. For some time, it was mistakenly believed that she was the first victim of the pair, but they didn't know about the boy, Daniel.
Buttons. Hail, Santa!
Hi, Buttons!
Hi, Buttons!
In his sulk.
Yeah.
All right,
Mikey
so
said, that's far worse.
Oh yeah, no, that is far worse than Pesci's character.
Yeah.
that's very much so worse, honestly.
Yeah.
So let's see here. Okay. Did I already read that one? No, I did not. So December 29th, 2010, they attacked Anissa Valentinova Svetlova. I'm so bad at these names, guys. I'm so sorry. Who managed to miraculously escape. They just took her bag, which they then threw away. And at 7 o'clock in the morning, an hour after the attack, the coach of the local sports school, he was 22, Yekaterina Karpova, who was pregnant. I'm sorry, she was 22. Kartova. Hi, Aaron.
Hi, Aaron Cash.
Yeah.
We
What
are
I said.
talking about the
Academy Maniacs.
Part 2.
And I'm really bad at Russian names.
Yep.
I'm sorry, guys. So, the coach over at one of the... Apparently they had sports schools over there. Hey, Alan.
Hey, Alan.
My brain just got really squirreled out. She was pregnant. She was returning home to the private sector near... We're just going to call it Academy. Together with her 6-year-old niece, Olya Averina, she encountered the boys near the railway but did not pay attention to them because she was talking on her cell phone. The boys then attacked both of them. The Olya, the 6-year-old, did manage to escape, but Nikita hit her in the sides, and she had actually hematomas in the area of her liver.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wait, so did she...
She's fine.
Okay.
She was fine. She managed to escape, but she did get some major hematomas.
Ooh, that's a brutal...
especially for a 6-year-old.
Yeah. Especially if you've ever seen hematomas like drained and stuff like that. It looks like grape jelly. It's actually weird.
Yeah. The boys sound like a bad movie. Yeah. I'm just calling them that because their name are Artyom. Here we go, guys. Artyom Anofri and Nikita Litkin. Hey, I'm getting better at this. So...
Mikey, Russians really get some effed up names. Bitches, ovas.
Rush. Oh gosh, I'm trying to go back here. Yeah, Russia be wildin'. Yes, right? So, okay, so the coach, Karpova, despite the fact that she was screaming and she was screaming that she was pregnant and she was trying to, like, kick them off and everything, she had her fingers snapped, her head smashed in, but suddenly a car driving from behind some bushes scared off the killers, which saved her life and the pregnancy. She actually survived.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Hi, Sven.
Hi, Sven. So, at the emergency room, they found both. She found her 6-year-old niece, and so they had very similar injuries. So they were able to kind of piece it together even before they said, "Hey, that's my niece." You know?
Oh, wow.
Did I say piles? I meant mountains.
Yeah.
Yes, they definitely have lots of pineapples waiting for them in hell. Lots of pineapples. And it's not going to be the little petite, cute pineapples. This is going to be like the big ones with the extra spikes that you just... I mean, what? So, January 1st, 2011, around 5 in the morning, the boys attacked a homeless man who was alone near some garbage cans on Lermontov Street, inflicting about 40 blows in the head with their mallets. He died in the hospital later on. Authorities couldn't establish his identity, so he was listed as corpse number 20.
Wow.
God, I hope Adolf Hitler's there with his French maid outfit, bending over the pineapples going up his ass. Yep. Those GMO pineapples, yes.
The cloned ones.
I don't think I'm bringing that up. I don't think I'm bringing that up. But yes, Aaron.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Mostly because I think we do have people in Russia laughing at me right now.
Yeah.
So, January 30th, 2011, the boys attacked a student, Oleg Semyonov, who was returning home late at night from the Stratosphere nightclub. Semyonov managed to escape, and doctors later diagnosed him with bruised head wounds, a concussion, and traumatic brain injuries. February 3rd, 2011, the Molotchiki attacked... Okay, that's them as a group, by the way. The boys attacked an elderly woman who was later taken to the hospital for an open gash in the head.
Hello, Maria. She's from Italy. Hello.
Hi.
How are you?
How are you? Junko Futura. I will. Yes.
That's the one where they abducted her
Yes.
for what was it, a couple months, right? Buttons. It was a couple months, and they did a lot of messed up stuff. So.
I do have a Russian friend, and she could probably do everything way better.
Yep.
I mean, I have heard of the French tickle, but not take another story when someone puts a pineapple up your ass. Oh boy, oh boy. Doctor, are you using your whole fist?
Who's older?
Oh gosh, it actually says my name.
Oh. We didn't fix that.
Ta-da! I'm younger. Okay. So, we need to bring in one of our Russian friends to, like, voiceovers with these kinds of feeds? Yeah. Definitely. Buongiorno! You're awesome, Sven. Awesome. Alright, let's get back on this. So, February 8th and 9th, the boys attacked another woman who survived, and this is like somewhere between... There is no Liz, only a car. This is somewhere between, like, the early morning, like late night on the 8th and early morning on the 9th. That's why it says that. They attacked a woman who survived, but this is because they were scared off by a passing car. Now, my question is, if you're doing this, why are you doing this out in the open on the road?
Because it's whenever they have the urge to do it, or whatever victim they find that they
I
can't
guess.
do anything with. They're not, what are they called? They're not organized killers. They're just doing
Well, yeah, they're kids.
Yeah.
I mean, they're at this point, they're 17 and 18, I believe.
Well, no, but
or they actually might be 16 and 17 when they're doing this.
There were some kids who have killed people and were organized about it. This is their MO.
Because they are morons. Exactly. Car! Game off!
Well, some of the most random killings like this are also the hardest to figure out because they just happen in broad daylight. If they
they didn't have a real MO. They were going after 12-year-old boys, 69-year-old women.
No, exactly. Their MO is just causing chaos and causing problems and stuff like that. But like I was saying though, some of the hardest crimes to solve are the ones like that, where they just happen right then and there, and then all of a sudden the people are gone. No one saw anything, or if someone did see something, it wasn't enough. Everything's circumstantial.
Yeah, definitely. So, February 21st, 2011, Alexander Petrovich Maximov, who was drunk and returning home from visiting his sister, was killed by the boys. The man had his jaw and head completely broken.
Oh, wow.
Nikita shot him in the head with an air pistol. And Artyom tried to remove his eyeballs, but couldn't do it because he didn't really know much about human anatomy. That was the only reason.
Yeah. So he just mauled him and mutilated him.
Mm-hmm. So the newspaper noted that during the investigation, the victim had actually tried to gnaw out Nikita's eyes.
Oh.
That's why they went after his eyeballs.
Oh, wow. So they fought back.
Yeah. Maximov was buried in a closed coffin and decapitated, with the remnants of his skull later becoming tangible evidence. So they cut his head off and kept it for evidence and buried the rest of his body.
Jesus.
So, give me just one moment here. We are going to go to a quick break, and we will be right back. And there we go.
This is Mikey from Out of the Ordinary, and you're watching PBDC TV.
Oh, hi! First thing in the morning, when I'm listening to music and getting a little bit of time for some creepy research, I'm always representing with my PBDC merch. What a better way to have a cup of coffee in the morning.
Don't forget to check out our other cool merch at rootsbleedred.com. That's rootsbleedred.com.
This is Professor Edgar Fluffosaurus from Spooky Tales with Steve the Cat, and when I'm not hosting Monster Chat or knocking down small Japanese cities, I'm watching PBDC TV. Now back to the show.
Oh. He muted me!
On accident.
Not on accident. You had to push it. Let's try this again.
We're
Thank
back.
you.
Forgot to hit the unmute thing on his...
Stop muting
Okay.
me. So, February 27th, 2011, Nikita actually single-handedly attacked Nina Kuzmina, who was sitting on a bench in Lermontov Street. He hit her twice in the head, but the woman made a fuss, which is why Alexander Cherevyakov, who lived next door, looked out the window, and Nikita ran off, taking the woman's cell phone. She's one of the ones that actually went up and said, hey, they went to school together, and if it wasn't for Artyom, Nikita would never have been acting like this.
Mikey made me laugh. Hexxus pulled an Al Bundy.
Mm-hmm.
Ow! We have our ghoulish friends before now.
Yep. I've always loved getting hit twice or 3 times in the head. Just makes me feel so good. Oh, yeah. So, gonna unhighlight that because my squirrel moments keep happening.
Squirrel.
So, the night of March 10th or early morning of 11th on 2011 or in on the footpath near the university bus stop, not far from Artyom's house, actually, or Artyom's house, the criminals attacked another homeless man, Roman Faizulin. They shot the man twice in the face, and then they both dragged the body into some bushes and began to stab him in the head, groin, and chest. Nikita tried to cut off the hand, but due to the fact that the knife was small, he managed to cut off only the little finger. After that, Artyom photographed the corpse, behind which the bloody trail was shown from the window of his apartment.
What? He did this near his apartment?
Yes.
Wow.
So, on an unknown date, the boys attacked a homeless woman. She survived because the criminals were frightened off by a police officer who saw them from the window of his apartment. On another unknown date, the boys attacked a woman at an arch gate. At the investigative experiment, Artyom said that this time he had used a screwdriver instead of a knife. Since it was a crowded place, the pair fearing to attract attention, they did not kill her, and they also ran away taking her bag. So they were doing more robberies, it seems, at this point, but not on purpose. So April 3rd, 2011, the last victim was a 63-year-old homeless woman, Alevtina Koidina, and she was killed near the Research Institute. The boys first killed her and then filmed themselves mocking her corpse, so defiling her corpse, on video. They shot her. They cut off the woman's earlobe with a knife, after which they tried to cut off her hands and remove the eyeballs. But again, this didn't work out for them because they didn't know anatomy. Later, they threw the earlobes on the porch of the school where they studied. The video recording from the boys later sent online from St. Petersburg to a friend. So, Ilya Ustinov, he was known by the nickname Solomon Gojo on the internet, who found the video sluggish but still distributed it all over the internet. And because of this, the police also had to check him and charge him, by the way. But they couldn't figure out exactly where it all came from because of that, because they were distributing to other people.
Yeah. So they made multiple copies of the SD drive and...
No, they sent it to their friend, Solomon Gojo, who then was like, oh, this is boring, but whatever, let's distribute it.
This is boring.
Yeah.
We're brutalizing and murdering people here.
Well, they had already killed the body, or killed the person. They were just kind of messing with the body at this point. So according to them, it was boring.
Russians.
I don't know. Yeah, what a bunch of losers.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, Calvin.
Yeah, they weren't very smart. Hey, Calvin. Did they feed the ears to Mike Tyson? I don't know. If you're gonna decapitate a body or mutilate the body, please take some personal notes from Jack the Ripper. Yeah, guys, don't. Just don't. So, questions about possible accomplices. In October 2012, a 27-year-old Vladimir from Krasnoyarsk Krai spoke at the trial, admitting that he was Artyom's second friend, with whom he agreed on the basis of common extremist views. The young man confessed that at one time, Artyom told him about 3 of the murders and had even taken him 2 times to hunt, which, however, both times ended with nothing. For the first time, Vladimir agreed to go because he did not believe what the boys were trying to do. He didn't think that they were actually the ones behind the killings. And when he realized that they weren't lying, he did not report it to the police because he was afraid that they would kill him and the girl who lived next door to Artyom. Vladimir also stated that a few days before the murder, Nikita had received a subpoena for the army in connection with him coming to age. So turning 18. Or 17, actually, I think. To which Artyom casually told Vladimir that Nikita will have to be killed so that he will not be burned.
What?
Oh, okay. So basically what they're saying is they're going to kill Nikita because they don't want him to confess what he's done.
Oh.
He doesn't want to get burned.
Yeah, exactly. It's just translated really
bad. So on March 6, 2013, Nikita unexpectedly stated at the trial that Artyom did not take part in 4 of the crimes. In particular, he hadn't killed Olga Pirog, and instead there was another person there with Nikita, with whom he committed 2 of the attacks, and in the 4th, they were joined by another accomplice. The defendant called their names, but the press did not disclose them. However, they did confirm that the accomplice in the 4th crime had been a witness. The investigation was on the verge of renewal when, on March 13th, Nikita again unexpectedly admitted that he had no accomplices. He declined to say why he had slandered the innocent, but the media suggested that in this way he wanted to delay the investigation. His mother said that he had done it to shield Artyom for the different dates in the detention center. So that Nikita once told his mother that they had made the devil out of Artyom, and that and that he, Nikita, is so white and fluffy. I think that's translated poorly again.
It's great.
Is so white and fluffy. I'm guessing innocent is what he means. Innocent. White and fluffy, guys. What?
Where you at?
I'm looking at... I'm sorry, Alan, I don't really understand this question.
I need to know who Vitamin E is first. Before I can properly answer that. Because as far as I know, it's Putin. But Russians do some weird stuff.
Turning on each other, yes.
I don't know who Vitamin E is.
Okay, so white and fluffy. Artyom said that the investigator had... Oh, hold on. That the investigator had pressured Nikita, threatening him with a transfer to solitary confinement. Nikita's mother denied a statement from Artyom, saying that at those early interrogations where she was present, the investigators had never pressed her son, and that she did not see the point that they would pressure him now. Online activities. In addition to the attacks, the boys were active on social media networks. Without concealing themselves, they described their crimes and even framed their frame of mind on on their personal pages on their social networks. So Artyom wrote, "We are gods deciding who will live and who will die." God, these guys are dumb.
Yeah, they're douchebags.
They're
narcissists.
They're total narcissists. They also led recruiting conversations in groups with a number of users who visited their pages. So in correspondence with a certain Yura Anofri, he suggested that the interlocutor try and kill the janitor for training the psyche. During the trial, Artyom stated that his account was being corresponded by an acquaintance who had access to it. Later, during the investigation, when all the users with whom the boys communicated were interrogated, it turned out that most of them simply didn't believe the criminals, believing that they were taking on other people's murders in order to attract attention. The entire correspondence was seized during the investigation, with 8 volumes in the form of 4,600 pages printed in text, which remained classified until the end of the trial. I wonder if they are still up. I don't know. I'll have to check.
I don't know.
Putin's a nice guy, just don't drink from his teeth. There's our Family Guy reference now. See, we hadn't made one yet. I have to investigate this crime between them and President Putin. This has really caught the attention of Batman.
Yes, that's right. Everyone in Russia is Russian bears on unicycles.
Every one of them.
Every person in Russia is.
So on March 11th, after the body of the next victim was found, a rally was held in Academy on what measures should be taken in regards to the events that were taking place. By this time, there was already information that the killers were ranging from the ages of 16 to 18. And the 2 boys actually attended the meeting, offering ideas and videotaping it on mobile phones. Meanwhile, Constant patrols were conducted in the area, special squads were created, and the crime rate decreased markedly, but did not lead to the killers' captures because they were at all the meetings.
Well, yeah,
That's one smart thing that they did, was join the meetings.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's the same thing the Golden State Killer did.
Mm-hmm.
Strangler, he was a cop, and he was always one step ahead of everybody because he was at every single meeting in Sacramento.
Oh, yeah.
He knew exactly what was going on.
So, meanwhile, in Academy, there was a panic caused by misinformation about the killings, which was why most common version among the citizens was that there was a single maniac and he was in his 30s. But they actually liked this.
Well, yeah, because it threw everyone off.
They weren't suspected because of it.
Yeah.
So everyone looked for strangers, and these guys were right there in Academy.
Mm-hmm.
Came from one of the investigators. So Olga Lipchinskaya.
Lipchinsky. I don't know.
Lipchinskaya. It was a journalist from Komsomolskaya Pravda. A month before the arrest of the boys, when accordingly no one could establish their identities, gave this description of the Academy Maniacs. Academy residents think that they are afraid of a killer maniac or teenagers hooked up on a bloodcraft. There are no other versions about the one who kills. And a certain Spider-Man sitting at a computer at home and genuinely amused.
What is going on?
These translations are really bad.
Oh, sorry.
Knowing how much people are afraid of him. In fact, hundreds of people, precisely according to his reports of victims, are gathering in the squares. Organizing people's guards are afraid to take to the streets. This person feels like a winner. We have a century of the internet, gentlemen.
Yeah.
All right, so
Yeah.
let's go to detention and arrest. A few days before his arrest, Nikita's mother found a knife packed away in the hallway. According to other sources, she found the knife in a pocket of his jacket. When asked why he needed a knife, he answered that it was in self-defense. And a little bit later, he said to his grandmother, "I will soon be lost." Both were arrested on April 5th, 2011, after the facial composites were distributed and they matched. And it was from the Institute of Organic Chemistry, by the way, that they did the composites.
Hey, Sykes.
Hey, Sykes.
What's going on?
What's up?
And then, Maud. Who's Maud?
Wait, is this town stupid? They're bragging on social media, but nobody knows who it is?
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
Russians are Russians.
Yeah. I won't admit to the videos I watch. So,
Oh, nice. Oh, you're hot. That's right. It starts back up right now, doesn't it?
nice. We
That's
gotta
cool.
come down and visit. So, oh, here we go. It was Artyom's uncle that actually found the video that he had left in the camera and he hadn't wiped, and he turned it into the police.
Yeah.
And this was actually a video of Alevtina Kudina's murder. And so it was very graphic.
It says they're at Castle Park. Where's Castle Park?
Nice. Okay, I know where that is.
Okay.
So, when Artyom signed the protocol, he said that he was imitating God damn it. Petrushkin. And he told the investigators, as one hero said, "Give me a glass of whiskey and a cigar, and you will learn so much new about this life that your hair will begin to move on your head."
Which hero said this?
I don't know. I don't know, guys.
Maybe Churchill? Maybe.
I don't know.
I'm assuming he liked his bourbons and or scotch because he's English.
Sure.
And he did smoke cigars.
So, later, the number of crimes increased to 6 murders and 10 attacks. And the boys also added that in the evening of that day, they planned another murder, but they were caught. It was all over media. I'm going back here. Notes.
I think. Hey, Connor!
We're pretty much done, guys.
Yeah, we are pretty much done.
So, in the end, they were charged. Here we go. Let's go to this one. On February 13th, 2013, a judicial debate began on their case. First in the debate was the public prosecutor who, taking into account all of the evidence examined at the court session and the position of the defendants, asked the court to find the defendants guilty and sentence them to life imprisonment. In the end...
Spin.
Remember, kids, stay white and fluffy. This is the best. Remember, kids, always stay white and fluffy. White and fluffy. Hey, Connor.
That's funny.
White and fluffy, y'all. So, in the end, Artyom was sentenced to life imprisonment, and Nikita was given 24 years. And then, when it went in front of the big courts, that was dropped to Artyom getting 24 years and Nikita getting 20 years.
Yeah. It's weird. And like we said in the last episode, they're not in a major prison. They're just put away for 24 years and 20 years, and that's
There
it.
were actually civil suits in this. One of the survivors, Karpova, sued them and got 1 million rubles.
Which is the equivalent.
And another 2 people filed lawsuits.
Wait, Zelda money is real?
Yes.
Like Legend of Zelda money
Yes,
is
it
real?
is. Yes, it is. So there were another 2 lawsuits filed where they got 800,000 rubles, and then one of the children got 1 million rubles.
I wonder where...
And that was Aleftina Kuvdina. I like saying that one. Oh, here we go. And then there was another one. Oh, they had to pay 2.75 million rubles. And then they had to pay Nina Kuzmina 500,000 rubles.
Huh.
Yeah, that's a lot of damn money coming out of those pockets, huh?
We don't know the conversion, though.
I don't know the conversion. Sorry, guys. You might have to look that one up.
Yeah.
So now, on January 27th, 2014, Artyom was transferred to Ogneny Ostrov in the Vologda Oblast, where he became the youngest prisoner at the time. In April, journalists from Komsomolskaya Pravda interviewed him, in which he made it clear that he did not repent at all. And he did not consider himself guilty. And did not agree with the verdict. Your colleagues helped me get here. I see you need something from me all the time. He said, saying that he will not talk anymore unless he's paid.
Natalie, I imagine it's probably something the county or whatever they live in is probably going to pay out for that. They weren't rich kids or anything like that. Or were they? Were the families wealthy?
No. One of them, I think the mom worked at a shoe store.
Yeah,
and then the other one, the mom was a clerk. And they both worked late nights. They both had no fathers. They were latchkey kids.
Yeah, I'd imagine they probably whatever the equivalent of county or province is. That's probably where they get the money from.
Don't be that guy in a Spider-Man suit surfing the internet.
Exactly.
Just remember this, guys. Stay white and fluffy, and don't be that guy in the internet suit.
Exactly.
Or in the Spider-Man suit on the internet. See, that's another... See, I think they added a Spider-Man... a Family Guy reference.
I think they did.
In Russian, nonetheless. Damn it, guys.
What is this? Oh, sorry.
Or it's a ruling, but the people won't ever see it. Yeah, that's possible,
Possibly.
too. All right, guys. So, remember, tune in tomorrow.
Steve the Cat.
Steve the Cat is debuting his first episode of the season. Mikey will not be on tomorrow night. And that's okay. We all need a break. And on Tuesday, we may have some fun going on. Wednesday, we are also dark, but we are going to be doing some reruns.
Yep.
And this Thursday is Sharon S. And then back for Friday, which I don't remember what our subject is, but I'll announce it sometime during the week.
Yep.
All right, guys.
Oh,
and it will be much easier than Russian words.
Ghoul Radio up next.
And up next in about a half an hour is Ghoul Radio. Thank you guys for joining us tonight. And we hope you have a wonderful day. Bye.
I don't set the world higher.
Coming to you live from Psycho Mantium 13. Join us here throughout the week for all things in audio, visual, and literary content. You can also find us on the World Wide Web at psychomantium13.com. Join Psychomantium 13 and enter the weird.